What's up YouTube, Silver Dragons here, and in this video we're talking about investing in gold versus silver in the year 2024. Which one is right for you? Let's get into it. SD Bullion is giving away a monster box of 2024 Tree of Life silver coins. Sign up today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. If you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, before we get into the pros and cons for each one of these precious metals, let's first talk about the price. Gold is basically at an all-time high. The current price for 1 ounce sits around $2,250. And when we look at this 30-year chart, you can see gold is now more expensive today than it has ever been in the past. Silver, on the other hand, is a completely different story. 1 ounce of silver is sitting at $25.16. This is about half of silver's all-time high, as it climbed to nearly $50 an ounce back in 1980, as well as in 2011. So, which is a better buy, gold or silver? Well, rather than looking at just the current price, we also have to look at how these metals behave. If we look at silver over the last year, you can see the price has been fairly volatile, lots of ups and downs. But when we look at gold, you can see gold is much more stable. The ups and downs are much smaller than that of silver, and this is almost always the case. So if you're just wanting some stability in these crazy times, if you're looking for a place to put your money that's not in cash, it's not bonds, it's not stocks, then I would look at gold first. Gold is the tried and true. This is one of those places where you can store your wealth and you don't have to be worried about it being inflated away. Gold is going up right now because the dollar is going down and people are worried about the dollar going down further. So to protect themselves, they're putting their money into physical gold. Now, when it comes to silver, silver will offer you much of the same protections. However, silver, because it is an industrial metal as well as a precious metal, we see these big swings in price. And right now, gold is taking off, but silver has not started taking off yet. So if you're able to stomach some volatility, some of these price swings, then I would say silver is probably the metal for you, because ultimately I think it has more potential. Like I said earlier, gold is already at its all-time high. Silver is only at about half of its all-time high. Also, if you're just starting out and you don't have that much money to invest, I would highly recommend going with silver because it's much more affordable than gold. I mean, silver is about 90 times cheaper than gold when you look at the price per ounce. You can pick up an ounce of silver for under $30 right now. There are premiums when you buy physical metals on both silver and gold, and the premiums on silver are slightly higher than that of gold typically. However, because the price to acquire 1 ounce is so much lower, it definitely makes silver the more affordable option. When I first started stacking, I was only buying silver. This was my only metal I was stacking, and I was okay with that because I was putting my wealth in a safe place, I was saving money, preserving my buying power, and it wasn't breaking the bank. In fact, I had hundreds and hundreds of ounces of silver before I even started stacking gold. So there's nothing wrong with starting out with silver because the price is lower. This brings me to my next point. If you're a heavy investor and you have a lot of money you want to put into precious metals, silver is much heavier than gold when it comes to the amount of value you can store. You're going to have to buy a lot more silver to store the same value as you would if you were just buying gold. Gold, again, 90 times more expensive than silver, so it's much more dense. Also, an ounce of gold is about half the size as an ounce of silver. These are both 1 ounce, but obviously the silver coin is much bigger than the gold coin. So if you just have a small safe that you're going to be using to store your metals and you do want to put a lot of money into precious metals, then perhaps gold is the better choice for you. Also, if you ever need to grab your metals in a hurry and take off, perhaps throw them in a bag or something like that, you can easily carry lots of wealth when it comes to gold. Silver, on the other hand, I mean, if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in silver, that's going to take a long time to move. So these are all things you need to consider when you're picking which metal to invest in. Now we come to perhaps one of the most important things to consider when choosing between gold and silver, and that is, why are you buying them in the first place? What is your motivation for picking up precious metals? Are you just wanting price exposure, a safe place to store your wealth, or are you wanting to perhaps barter with it someday in a collapse? If we do have an SHTF scenario or a dollar collapse, for example, and you're needing to barter with your precious metals, it's going to be much easier to barter with your silver coins than it would be to barter with your gold coins. And again, the reason is because there's so much value stored in these gold coins, you're only going to be able to use them for large transactions. But your silver coins you could use to barter for everyday items. So if you're worried about having to barter in the future, you absolutely should have some silver on hand. Now, there's no reason you can't stack both precious metals, buy both gold and silver. In fact, that's what most stackers do. They put some of their wealth into gold, some of their wealth into silver, and you just have to decide how much to put into each one of them. Most people, when they look at investing in precious metals, they think about these as their long-term investment. This is their savings, this is their insurance for when everything else goes wrong. But some people are just buying precious metals because they want to profit off of them. So which one of the two are you going to be more likely to profit off of in the next few years? Well, I would say just because gold is at an all-time high and silver is lagging quite a bit at the moment, that silver may have more potential. I certainly think that if you buy a large amount of silver right now, you have more of a chance to double your money than if you buy a large amount of gold right now. Gold has to go to $4,500 an ounce for you to double your money. Silver only has to go to $50 an ounce, and it's been there before twice. So if you're looking at precious metals as just a way to profit, then I would say maybe silver is the better option for you. Ultimately, I would say I like both. I stack both. I see the value in both. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Right now, I'm certainly stacking more silver than gold just because gold is at an all-time high, and I think silver does have more potential. But I would say for those of you who are perhaps later in your years, nearing retirement, you just want that stability, you want that safe haven, gold might be the better choice. But if you still have a lot of working years left in you and you can stomach the volatility, the ups and downs, then silver might be the better choice. So lots of things to think about when it comes to investing in precious metals. I hope I was able to shed some light on the gold versus silver debate. Feel free to put your comments down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.